Samastajana Kalyani Niradam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. My prostrations at the lotus feet of Pujya Gurudev and the lotus feet of Pujya Swamy Brahmanandi, the Acharyas of the mission, and my Chinmaya family members, Hari Om. It's a fortune, a chance that I came into the mission in the year 1979. It was a chance, it happened in a peculiar way. I was an officer in a company called NGF Limited. I happened to attend one of the management training programs by one of the best ever management trainers of the world from Dale Carnegie Institute. And the trainer was from Bengal, but he was in the Carnegie Institute, and he was the only non-American who won the Best Trainer Award. 21 years he traveled throughout the world, and I had a chance to get trained from him in the year 1979. Very rigorous program. But what really happened was, that person who was 21 years in the United States, one of the world's best management trainers, he said, if you really want to know what real management training is, listen to the bearded, saffron-clad Swami. I was not a believer at that time of the Swamis, but this person, 21 years in the US, if he has to say there must be something. That is how I went into the National College, Basavangudi, in the year 1979, Gita chapter 7. Pujya Gurudev, Swamy Chinmayananda was speaking to us. Huge audience, absolute total pin drop silence. I was just around in the boundary, skeptic. What is he going to talk? But I liked the aggression, the dynamism, the punch, more importantly, the dramatism, the stories, and humor. I liked it. And slowly next days, I went a little deeper. And from then, there was no chance for me to look back. In fact, Gurudev says, this spiritual path is a one-way path. Yesterday, Brahmaji was talking, and he was saying, those who come to the mission, also one way. No going back. But not in some institutions, they hold them by various methods. Here, out of love, in fact, they can't get away. The path itself is bliss. That's how I got in. And since then, the real thing that happened was, I had the opportunity of coming closer to Gurudev, mainly thanks to Pujya Swamy Brahmanandi. I do not know, words are not adequate for me to thank Pujya Swamy Brahmanandi, because I do not know what happened. He made me go closer and closer to Gurudev, the various tasks that were given. And he gave me the opportunity to serve the National Youth Convention as the camp manager. And I had the last great opportunity of being with Gurudev, even in his last yajna. And the last visit, you know, the last yajna was between the 8th and 14th of March 2013. And on the departure airport, Swamy Brahmanandi asked me to go with him. And there, after checking in, the flight was delayed. And then we had the great opportunity to be with at the feet of Gurudev for about 3 hours in his last stay in Bangalore. What great treasure we can expect. Swamiji, I must thank you for all the opportunity given. And I would be speaking in fact, as Aishwarya said, we can't speak about Gurudev, but what little drop of ocean that we picked from that huge ocean, I'll try to remember what we can do. Gurudev was known, his words, his yajnas, came at a time when, you know, as he said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanartharya sambhavami yuge. There was a time when this real dharma was not only not understood, was misunderstood and misused. It is at that time we required an avatar Purusha, Yuga Purusha, he was born. And his appeal was something extraordinary. And I was always looking at, it was not only to people to attain the ultimate goal of life, the moksha, but it has also helped millions and trillions of people all over the world to self-improve themselves in all aspects of life. The personal life, the professional life, the social life, the family life. His appeal and every talk, every line that Pujya Gurudev speaks, we used to have a message to all that. It is in that occasion that, he has addressed a lot of forums. And I found some of the interesting that I heard directly from him is, in one occasion, somebody told him, some youngster, it seems, he told him, Gurudev, I don't believe in the God. Then Pujya Gurudev, in his own style, congratulations, young man, I also won't believe. If you are thinking of the God above somewhere in the clouds, his concept of religion, his concept of dharma, his concept of way of life is something unique, because it was required at that time. And he always also said, in fact, I had the opportunity of getting some of the few letters. This letter that he wrote, Pujya Gurudev, to me on 2nd of February 1993, it says, it is necessary that all of us do the prachar of real dharma. And he has written here, prachar can never be efficient without achar in the preacher. Prachar cannot be efficient without achar in the preacher. And he says this is applicable not only for spiritual prachar, but also for the management gurus, or the various heads of institutions, the leaders of the nation. Leaders of the nation talk a lot. That can never be effective. Look at this, the small one-line message. He gives a message for people of all areas, professional, personal, social, and all that. He was saying the religion is not bell ringing or burning incense sticks. We have got to understand. In fact, he calls it, that particular lecture, the first lecture that I heard, impressed me because he said, yeah, you have got to practice not only here. And he says, I am talking, don't believe me. And in fact, Brahmaji also expressed it in the talk yesterday. Don't believe people, especially people with saffron and beard. And I still remember, that's still in my memory. He says he did his beard like this and said, longer the beard, greater should be your suspicion. And he said, this, our ring, is like a manual, is like an operating, you have got a sophisticated gadget, and it is kept, and you buy it, paying huge lot of money, and he gives you a cash bill, a warranty card, and an operating instruction. Suppose I bring it home, operate number of buttons, within few minutes, but no, equipment is gone. And I become angry. You have given me 7 years warranty, it did not last for 7 minutes. Then that fellow, sir, how did you operate? Then I said, then he says, this warranty is not valid because you have not operated in the way it has got to be done. So, what had to give me happiness and bliss is giving me misery. This applies, according to Pujya Gurudev, to all our scriptures. The scriptures are the manuals of living. Get them, read them, understand, listen to the acharyas who have practiced, and then digest it, own it, and more importantly, put it into practice. And if we put this into practice, our individual lives will be better. You will prosper in your life. You see, because he was always saying this is not only for attaining that, even for, in fact, his audience were, majority of the people were officials, professionals, people of various likes. This will help you to come up in your life. This will help the institutions to do well. This will help the states and the nation to prosper and the world to prosper. And his, one more, he was above caste, creed, color, nationality. Thanks to Pujya Swamiji's blessings, I had opportunity to listen to him in the West End Hotel when he was addressing a press conference in Bangalore. In fact, all the opportunities I have got to be close with Gurudev is because of Swami Brahmanji. So whatever little has happened in my life, why little? In fact, I call myself Dvija. Dvija, don't get scared, the second birth. The first birth, when I am born in the year 1948, the second birth is when I got exposed to Pujya Gurudev. And he says, in fact, he was addressing something about the conversions at that time, and he says, people were talking, Hinduism, this and that, people are converting this and that. She said, there is nothing, there is no caste. Because we are all made out of the Panchabhutas, and we have the consciousness, whether you are an Indian, American, German, man, woman, or everything is same. That is the true religion. But after having said, he said, I agree with the Christians, I agree with the Muslims, that conversion is a must. This, people thought, what is this Swamiji talking now? He was talking, he said, there are lots of Christians who have got Bible but not practicing Bible. They are not Christians. It is the responsibility of every Christian to convert as many Christians into Christianity. There are lots of Muslims who are having Quran in their hand, but they may not be following Islam. It is the responsibility to convert as many Muslims into Islam as possible. And it is a responsibility of all of us to convert as many Hindus into Hindus, my dear friends. And our gratitude is, if we have to pay, we can't pay gratitude to Pujya Gurudev, who has changed us. But a little amount of gratitude we can pay only by converting as many Hindus into Hindus as possible. And in fact, I think this is a thing that all of us should take a pledge that we will do this, after all. And he said, one more thing, he said, yes, now, Hinduism, people were saying, no, it's being spied. He says, nobody can destroy Hinduism. She is so strong. But according to Gurudev, Christians or Muslims, nobody can. The only people who are capable of spoiling or tarnishing Hinduism are Hindus, and they are doing very, very efficiently. This was his message to the National Youth Convention in the year 1991. And he was a person who always had lots of value things. On that last occasion, I was remembering that I was talking to you at the airport. One, he said, what a pity in this great country. We have such a natural resource, such talented people. An average Indian is 10 times better than the most powerful American. We have got the knowledgeable people. We have got the capable people. But still, we are still developing. Why are those countries which are developed? What is it that they have? They are not more capable. They are not more knowledgeable. What is lacking is certain values. One thing he talked to me personally on that day in 1993 is, he said, we had in India about 90% corrupt, 90% pure, 10% corrupt, olden days. And later on, 90% corrupt, 10% pure. And believe me, he said one more. In fact, he used the word, is Gurudev's word. With some exceptions, there are two kinds of people in this world. Those in this country, those who are corrupt, those who have no provision for corruption. There are some people who don't take bribe because nobody is giving them. But we must belong to a class of people, that exception people, who stand for values. It is that way only we prosper. We will have industrial progress, we have materialistic progress, but we will also have spiritual advancement. His input into the management, especially if you listen to his talks on the address of NIPM, he said if a person has to be successful, he must have basic knowledge and the functional skills. And that can be got. You know, there are various management techniques throughout the world, Dale Carnegie, Stephen Covey, Ayakaka, and so many of them. But none of them have given that depth as Pujya Gurudev has said. If you want to acquire knowledge and skill, you must have the mind tuned properly. With a disturbed mind, with an agitated mind, nowhere you can get knowledge. Friends, it is for all the people, the teachers who are here. It should be a part of education. If you are not able to make children prepare